music. Wow, May, improve a lot. Well done, well done. Eric looks like James Bond. You know, James Bond has this kind of thing where the circle keeps growing smaller and smaller.
Yeah. I don't know how to
Hello,
change my background.
yeah. Hello, Yinlin. Good to see you. You're one of the earliest people to come. We're giving $10 voucher. We used to give $20 voucher to one person, and we decided to up the budget. So now we are giving $10 voucher to 3 people. Yeah, and Yuan Tai will keep track who are the 3, and we will do a lucky draw at around 9:30. Okay, 9:25 to 9:30. Yeah, I know $10 is not a lot. Yeah, but it's just for fun, and you can always use it to buy coffee for Mr. Eugene Xia. Okay, yeah. Sorry, that's called corruption. Yeah, and hello Tricia, Hermine, Patrick. Long time no see, Patrick. Yeah, and Jenny, our teammate, and Cindy, Edwin, and Susanna, and Sophia. Are you the same Sophia that I know? Please turn on your video, please, so that we can at least have some friendly interaction. We're going to learn 6. Okay, 6. Because we are not known as the Abundance Club for nothing. Now we're going to give away 6 tools, 6 low-risk tools of 5 minutes before I finish dinner. Hey, no problem, no problem. In fact, people are quite used to seeing each other eat on screen already. So it's no longer rude to do so. Yeah. What was I saying? So 6. Okay, so please take out your piece of paper and pen. We're not giving any PowerPoint slides. Yeah, so take out paper and pen. And I'm very sure, Hermin is still out, can't turn on the video. No problem, safety first, safety first. There are 6 ways, and I'm very sure, okay, some of you have read books, attended courses, or maybe your parents taught you before. So some of the 6 you probably heard before. So now I'm going to invite you to open up your mind. You know, a lot of times I also know knowledge about keeping healthy, right? You ask me how to have 6-pack, I can tell you all the theories about 6-pack. Doesn't mean I have 6-pack, right? Yeah, so theory is theory, you know, application is application. So tonight I'm going to invite you. Sophia will stay in the background because got urgent work to do. Wow, I must call Ministry of Manpower again. 8 p.m. still doing work. Yeah, sorry. Sometimes I sound like I'm very detached. Patrick also. Yeah. I'm very detached because last time I was a corporate zombie and I had to work and people invite me for webinar. I said I have no time. And after I started running my own business, I became a lot more relaxed. Yeah, I can do anything I want at any point of time. Anybody wants to be entrepreneur, attend another course. Tonight's course is not about entrepreneurship. Last night I was talking about entrepreneurship. And then probably next month I'll run it again. Okay, so please take out paper and pen and get ready to write down one of the 6 ways at least. You know, I'm very sure at least one of the 6 ways will resonate deeply with you. And that's something that is going to lead you to abundance after tonight. Okay. Before I hand over the time to May, who is going to lead us into an icebreaker and also to retune our mind, because we came from work, came from exercise, came from scolding our children. You know, we need to retune our mind to say yes to abundance retirement webinar. But before I do that, I would like to invite all of you to go to the Zoom chat. Okay, time to test out your finger power and type down one of the ways you know to build low risk, must be low risk. Don't tell me cryptocurrency. One of the low risk passive income method. Okay, I'm sure we know at least one way. So go to the Zoom chat and type what is one of the ways you know. Okay, please be generous. And once we have seen some of it, okay, S&P 500 index fund. Wow, that's very specific. Thank you, Sean. Some more. Yeah, ETFs are wonderful. Okay, exchange traded funds. In case you're wondering that, hey, Eugene Xia is always a speaker and coach. I'm not. Okay, I used to work for Singapore Stock Exchange, and our team, okay, launched the ETF. The very first ETF is the MSCI India ETF. And because of its success, then we started seeing more and more ETFs in the market. I'm not trying to claim credit. I'm just telling you that I was involved in this whole journey. Singapore government bonds, not bad. CPF Life, well done. A lot of people forget about CPF Life. Yeah, so CPF Life. Dollar cost average robo-advisor, well done. Okay. Yes, Gabriel, renting out our property. In Hong Kong, we even rent out our parking lot. Yeah, unfortunately, Singapore, nobody rents out parking lot. Yeah, maybe Hey, new business idea. Please write down. Renting out parking lot. Hey, maybe people should rent out the yellow box for smokers. Yes. $2 per minute. Hey, no more idea. That's it. Renting out property. Okay. Then without further ado, let me hand over the time to May to lead us. And please participate fully. There's something to do with scanning QR code and things like that. May, over to you.
Yes. Okay. Let's have some fun first. Okay. So I'm going to share screen. I'm going to let you all scan the QR code. Okay. So please scan in. For those who are not scanning, just go to menti.com and then you type in the code 12618479. Okay. All right. So let me type in the code number here so that I can go to the other one for you all to start the game, because tonight we are very short for time. Okay, so I'm going to switch the screen.
It is a game. I'm not asking you to buy anything.
Yeah, somebody already put in cash flow. Yes, the question is, what challenges do you face when trying to plan for your retirement?
May, you need to change over to the other screen.
Oh, okay. Let me stop first, and then I share again. Okay, maybe that's the reason why you don't see it.
May I get a message that says you are already joined this presentation? Use this field to enter your input.
Can you all start typing in? Because I'm already seeing some people already typing in, like discipline, over purchasing insurance, no money, procrastination. We're just trying to get a sensing on the ground, sensing on the type of challenges that you might face, you know. And then let's see whether we have new stuff or not. Oh, I see no money coming up. So more than one person have already chosen that. Okay. Too many options. Yes, too many options. Hard to choose, right? Okay, any more? If not, let's move on to the next question. Yeah. Oh, there's still some more people coming in. Okay, some more. Kids spend too much. Some people say kids are liability, but for all you know, maybe they are long-term investment, right? Got scammed. Oh, okay. So tonight we're going to bust all the scams. Okay, no clear plan. Yes, totally agree. Okay, all right, shall we move on to the next question? Okay, the next one is, how well prepared financially are you for your retirement? Okay, and then I know that in our midst we have Edwin, right, who's from Poly grad. So hey, it's never too early to plan for retirement. Okay, for all you know, maybe you can retire at age 30. So just 8 more years or a couple more years. 3.6. Okay, anybody else? Okay, usually we have a range of answers here lah. Yeah. Okay, 4.1. Is it moving anymore? It is okay that we are not prepared financially. That is why we are able to value add here at this point in time. Okay, and then today we are here to share with you the strategies to retiring with abundance. Okay, so without further ado, let us dive into it. Okay, now let me stop share and then we'll go into the slides proper. Okay, this is the one that we had just now. And then, yes, okay. Now, for the last half a year, there are lots of articles in the Straits Times that tell us about our financial health. And here it says that more and more Singaporeans feel that they don't have enough savings. Okay, that was published earlier this year in March. And then they say that about over 60% of Singaporeans feel that way. And they felt that also their readiness to retire has also been compromised because of COVID. Now, this other one talks about a lot of them not knowing how much it would cost for retirement. Okay, so 1 in 2 underestimate their retirement needs, and then many are also clueless how much should they put aside. Okay, now even the situation also perpetuate for the high income earners, okay, because they too have money challenges as well. Okay, so what are the challenges? They cannot control their spending, there's no financial planning, cash is king. They felt that maybe it's safer to keep a lot of emergency cash, and then they're also not staying invested. Okay, now today when we talk about retirement, we want to talk about 3 pillars in particular to keep this roof from falling down over our heads. Okay, and are you ready to be part of this top 40 to achieve your dreams of retiring with abundance? Okay, let's dive in. All right, now the first pillar is investment, and we have Yuan Tai with us to share on this topic. Okay, he and his lovely wife were invited to do an interview with the Straits Times some time ago. And yeah, without further ado, I'm going to hand this over to Yuan Tai. Okay, let me stop share. Yuan Tai, here you go.
Thank you, May. Thank you, May. That was a really interesting Mentimeter. So during these days of COVID pandemic, all of us are stuck at home and we can only go hiking or go cycling. So I was cycling one day from my house in Hougang all the way to Chinatown. Oi! What? Why are you carrying your bicycle? I carry my bicycle because I don't know how to ride. If you don't know how to ride your bicycle, come and learn how to ride a bicycle. So ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are here for the next 1.5 hours learning how to ride our bicycle. And our bicycle is like our hard-earned income. Most of us don't know how to use our income wisely, how to use our money, and we leave it inside the bank. And the bank only gives us 0 point something interest. So literally our money is shrinking every day and every year. If you are here today to learn how to ride your bicycle, to happily retire, please type in yes inside the chat box right now. Who wants to ride bicycle with me to happy retirement? Sean, yes. Gabriel, Eric. Who else? Louis, Eugene, Inling. Yes, we all want to ride bicycle. Tricia, Ik Chong. Thank you very much. We all want to ride our bicycle towards a happy retirement. However, most of us, we want to ride our bicycle safely. I mean, riding it very safely from your home to Chinatown to your happy retirement. We don't want to ride our bicycle like this. But you'll be surprised. A lot of people like to ride the bicycle like that. So recently, I'm sure you have friends talking about crypto, going to crypto. And yes, I have friends as well. They go into Bitcoin, they go into Ethereum, or the cryptocurrency, and they made some money. But a few months later, recently, crypto dropped, the cryptocurrency dropped, and they are stuck with losses. So for my portion, I talk about investment. I'll share with you in the next 15-20 minutes some of the ways I invest, and to help you, the 3 passive streams of income that are very low risk. But disclaimer, today I'm not here to give you any stock tips. I'm also not here to go into the next 1.5 hours sharing in depth how to buy which stock, how to choose which stock. No, that's not what I'm here for. But what I'm here for is to hopefully share with you my experience and hopefully give you some very useful tips so that you can get started on your investment journey. So passive income stream number one. Passive income stream number one. What I do for myself, property rental. So this is actually my apartment, my studio apartment. But it's not in Singapore. It is in Manila. So one of these beautiful apartments in right smack in downtown Manila. Please guess how much it costs. Please type inside the chat box. How much does it cost in Sing dollars? A condominium smack in the orchard of Philippines. Freehold. 500K, 200K. How big? Okay, Eric, how big? This one is a studio apartment, so it is about 27 square meter. 27 square meter. So it's like a bedroom plus a area, a small living room come kitchenette. 500K SGD. You are far off, too expensive. It's only 90,000 SGD. Freehold, right smack in the Orchard Road of Philippines. Studio apartment, personal example. This is actually my unit. So they actually furnish it and they actually rent it out. And this is how I generate passive income. And you may ask, why do I go into Philippines? Why go into Manila? Let me show you why. So this is a statistic taken in 2016. The rental income yield of Asian countries. Philippines is 6.13%. 6.13%. And then you may ask me, hey, Yuan Tai, this chart show that Indonesia 7%. Why you choose to go into Philippines? The reason is because if you want to invest in overseas property, you need to have context, and not just any context that you can trust. So I was very fortunate, I was very blessed to have friends that I can trust in Manila. So they are able to help me look after my property and make sure that it's rented out. And then when the tenants turn over, they make sure that everything is in order. And they also help me to look into the property taxes, maintenance, so on and so forth. So you want to invest in overseas property, not so easy. You need to have the context, you need to have the connection. And of course, some of you may know, in Singapore, the rental yield. Guess what is the rental yield for properties in Singapore? Please type inside a chat box. Guess how much is it? I'm talking about now in this last year and this year. Rental, residential property, rental yield. How much? 多少? How many percent? Please type inside chat box. 3%. Yes, Eric. Sean, 2%. 3%. Yes, it's actually 3%. 2 to 3%. 2 to 3%. So you can see for me, I strategically take advantage of a developing country and I went into it. And I know that in Manila, a lot of people from outside of Manila actually go into Manila because there are a lot of MNCs that set up their companies, their offices over there. And they actually model the Manila city layout. They actually come to Singapore, cut and paste Singapore city layout and go to Manila, and then they exactly copy the same thing. So it is much cheaper there, and all the MNCs, they are finding it very attractive. They have a very well-educated workforce, a lot of university students, and their first language also English. That's why I see the opportunity, and 5 years ago I went into it. So my question to you is this the right time to enter property market? Is this the right time to enter the property market? Please type inside the chat box, yes or no. Yes or no. Is this the right time? Is this the right time to enter? Will you enter? Okay, Ik Chong, yes. Yes. Okay. Gabriel, yes. Depends. Sean, depends. Trisha, no. Let me give you tips, and I'll answer that question shortly. Is it the right time to enter the property market? Let me give you tips to help you in your property investment decision. So just a disclaimer, neither of us, none of us, myself, Eugene, or me, none of us are real estate agents. We are neither property consultants, but for me, I'm sharing from my experience. So these are tips to help you. So number one, you need to make sure that there is a margin of safety. Oh, it's almost like buying stocks. You need to go in at the right price. And you need to find properties that are below intrinsic value. So you really need to do your homework. You really need to find someone that you can trust to help you and give you the right advice, and not just think about closing the sale, but also help you to plan long term. So finding properties that are below intrinsic value, it means what's intrinsic value of property. So intrinsic value of property is dependent on these factors. You have to take in consideration the present value of all future cash flow. So in layman's term, you have to take in consideration the rent. How much can you rent it for? How much is the inflation? How much is the maintenance for this particular condo? And what are the other property taxes and all the expenses you have incurred? So all these things you have to take into account, and then you have to find the property that's below valuation. So you have to do your homework. Yeah. And you have to make sure that there's a right entry price, margin of safety. So this is tip number one. And tip number two, never buy a property based on future value. So some of you may be aware, some of you are just a show of hands, or okay, just please type inside the chat box. How many of you live in the Jurong East area? How many of you live in Jurong East area? Please type inside the chat box. Yes, you stay there. Any of you staying in Jurong East area? Okay, no response, so nobody. Jurong East. After they announced the HSR, and all the prices all go up, chiong. But few years later, Malaysia decided, hey, change my mind, I don't want HSR anymore. So now, some of my friends, they actually went in at a high price. They are stuck with a high price. Do you think these people that went in at high price are able to cash out for profit? Do you think they are able to cash out? And keep this in mind. So tip number two, never buy property based on future value. Jurong East is one example. The HSR on and off. Now it's off. So they are stuck. Those people went in when the price already shot up. They are already stuck. Open already. Okay, tip number three, understanding a real estate cycle. What is a real estate cycle? Sounds very complicated. Okay, let me just give you this graph. You explain it clearly. Market quadrant cycle. So this graph, I won't go into very detail here because that's not our purpose, but it gives you this idea that there's an up and down. And there are factors in play. To put it very simplistically, it's all about the economics principles. Supply and demand. Okay, so I want you to guess right now. Where are we in this cycle? Are we at the starting phase? At the start of the phase recovery, going up? Or are we at the top? Or are we at the bottom? Going down at the bottom. So number one, please type 1 if we are at the starting phase, type 2 if we are at the top, and type 3 if we are at the bottom. Please type in the chat box. Sean, 1. Okay, we are at number 1. Who else? Please participate together. Number 3, Eric, we have gone down bottom. Eugene, 1. Let me show Lin, number 2. Let me show you the correct answer. We are over here right now. So we are actually between 1 and 2. We are going up. So the big question is, when will we hit the top and when we go down? We don't know. But to answer the question, initially, is it the right time to go in right now? Yes, now is the right time to go in. Right now is the right time because once we miss this, it's over. It goes up to the peak and then you go down again, all the prices. So if you want to go in, they are looking for a property to go in for investment. Yes, now is the right time. So let me move on to the second stream of income. Okay, before that, the risk of property investment I've briefly covered, but let me just recap again. Number one, taxes. So you have to take into account government tax. Akong needs to collect money from you. Akong needs to collect money from you. And in a small country like Singapore, we have very limited land. So if you go into the property, if you invest in a property, there's no way you will escape taxes. BSD and ABSD. What does BSD stand for? BSD stands for Buyer Stamp Duty. Buyer Stamp Duty. Okay, please type inside the chat box. How much is the Buyer Stamp Duty? Does anybody know? How much is it? How many percent? 2% escape. Anybody else? Okay, BSD, Buyer Stamp Duty, is between 1 to 4%. So there's a stack up. Let me move on to the next one. ABSD. ABSD stands for Additional Buyer Stamp Duty. Additional Buyer Stamp Duty. So Additional Buyer Stamp Duty is introduced in 2011 because the property prices starting to shoot up very high. So just now we saw the graph, it's starting to shoot up from 1 to 2, going up, shooting up to the moon. And the government say, hey, cannot, we are having a property bubble. We need to cool this property bubble. So the government introduced ABSD, Additional Buyer Stamp Duty. Additional Buyer Stamp Duty for Singaporeans, 12%. 12% for Singaporeans. Which means if you own a second property, let's say a condominium that's about $1 million. Okay, nowadays, $1 million can buy you small condominium, 1 bedder or 2 bedder only. You own a second property and you want to sell it, you want to flip it, you got it, and 3 years later you want to flip it. Akong will say, okay, you sell it 1 million, 120,000, 12% is my money. Which means when you invest in this, you have to factor in that 12% into your margins because you definitely eat into your margins. So taxes, number one, consideration. Number two, regulations. The regulations, government regulations, they are always moving about. So this MOP is one example. MOP stands for minimum occupation period. So MOP recently the government decided, wow, a lot of people sell their BTO very hot, 1 million plus. Wow, they very hot, cannot. Need to stop. So they announced MOP increase 5% to 10%. Okay, let me just pick up pace in the essence of time. Number three, legal issues. Legal, what do I mean by legal issues? Very simple. Look at this article. This is a recent article, it just happened last year. Some of you may recall. Landlord headache, wow, 头铁. And actually, thankfully, I don't have many nasty tenants. I'm very fortunate. But the tenant from hell is actually quite common. So what happened over here, you see, this tenant not only don't want to pay, pay money, don't want to pay, but also try to take the saw to saw open the front gate. So imagine your property, you collect rent, the tenant don't want to pay, I don't want to pay you. And then he want to take the saw and saw your gate. This is a tenant from hell. Of course, not every tenant is like tenant from hell, but tenants, more or less, they'll give you certain issues here and there. So as a landlord, you have to contend with that. So very 麻烦啦, but 没变啦. You want to make money, you have to contend, you have to work. Buyer stamp duty, so I mentioned just now, it's between 1 to 4%. Only consider this investment if you can hold it for 3 years or more, positive cash flow at least 4,000, and you are not buying for own state. So this is my advice for you as a property investor, someone who has actually been there and in doing that. This is advice for you. Hold it for 3 years or more. You cannot flip it too fast. And positive cash flow at least 4,000. You need to make sure that you can handle the mortgage and you're not buying this for your own state. Passive income stream number 2. Passive income stream number 2. It's called dividends. And these are the, okay, disclaimer again. Today is not a stock pick, not stock recommendation. After today, if you go back and go and buy, and then 1 week later, the price drop, don't come and find me. Disclaimer. This is today just an illustration. Okay, Wilmar International, Dairy Farm, and Hong Kong Land. These are stocks that give pretty good dividends. So dividends, you buy the stocks, you hold, and then they give you the dividends. They pay out dividends quarterly or half yearly or every year. And then you take this. This is your pocket money. This is your passive income stream. So we look at how to calculate. How do we calculate the dividend yield? So we have to look at some numbers. We have to look at the financial statements. If you do stock investing, there's no way you can escape from having to look at numbers. You have to look at the financial statements. And what do we look for? I highlight for you so you won't go dizzy with all the numbers. Dividend per share, Singapore cents. So dividend per share, you can look. Last year, this particular stock, it gives you 13 cents. 13 cents, so it's not too bad. Divided by share price. So how we calculate the dividend yield? We take the dividend share divided by the share price. So this one is for Wilmar. Answer 3%. Okay, 3%. So this is how we calculate the yield. And generally, the yield, you want to look for something that's very stable between 3 to 5%. 3 to 5%. If a company gives you too high dividends, you need to pause and think. Because if the company is giving you like 6%, 7%, you got to think, is this company giving out too much money and not reinvesting into the business? So dividend is a very tricky balance, cannot be too high. And of course, you don't want it to be too low because you want some returns. If it's too high, it means that possibly this company is not reinvesting into their business, but giving out to the shareholders. So this is also something that you want to consider, cannot be too high as well. S&P 500, S&P 500, for those of you who don't know, S&P 500 is 500 biggest company in the US. And this one will illustrate, if we invest into a exchange traded fund or invest into an index fund, S&P is an index fund, it's well diversified. Number one, the 3Ds to reduce risk, diversification across sectors and countries, S&P 500. Duration over 10 years or more. You give yourself more time. Duration over 10 years or more, you can see that there is an uptrend, and the uptrend is always going in an exponential curve. So you need to leverage on this 8th wonder of the world called the power of compounding. And you have skin in the game, you stick on it long term, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, you will definitely see returns and good returns. And finally, the third D, dollar cost averaging. In layman's term, set aside a sum of money and invest into the stock market consistently, dollar cost averaging. This will help you to take away emotions out of investing. And this is the one, the emotions is the one that cause people try to time the market. You want to buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high. But because of the emotions in play, they always do the opposite. They buy high, they sell low. Practicing this 3D, there's one particular instrument. There's one particular instrument that actually allows you to practice these 3D strategies, which is diversify, long duration, and dollar cost averaging. And this is called the actively managed portfolio. So you can see the previous chart. Over long term, the trend is going up. And it's in the exponential curve. So using this actively managed portfolio, this is active income number 3. Passive income number 3. Actively managed portfolio. This is also part of my portfolio. So I have property, I have an index fund, ETF, and this one, number 3, actively managed portfolio. And how it works. Let me just give you an idea. So our portfolio is managed by Mercer. Mercer helped us to invest our money. 3 of us here, Eugene, May, and I, we are from Prudential, but today is not selling Prudential products, but we are from Prudential. So what I do is I invest in this actively managed portfolio. And Mercer is a company that helped us to manage this portfolio. Mercer will invest, you can see from the charts, they invest in a mix of different things. So this is well diversified. The first D. Global equities, Asian bonds, Asian equities, Singapore equities, emerging markets, and China equity. Well diversified, and of course, it invests over a long period of time, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And we can see the performance of this. Okay, so Mercer invests in A&B, Global Value, BlackRock, Schroder, all the funds. And over a long period of time, because we want to look at the returns over a period of time, since inception, this particular fund has done 6.6%. And last year alone, 29.9%. But of course, we are more interested in the longer run, average returns over a period of time. 6.6%. Actively managed portfolio. All you have to do is to practice the dollar cost averaging. Set aside $300, $1,000 every month, put into this fund. It's very boring, but very stable. And it's a passive income stream number 3. Okay, so that's all for my segment. I hope you have learned something. And it is my pleasure to introduce next this person. He's known as the abundance coach, the man of abundance. And it's really my blessing to have crossed paths with him. So let's put our hands together and welcome Eugene Sia.
Thank you. Okay, let me go straight into the topic. First of all, I would like to thank Yuan Tai into sharing the 3 ways. I'm going to share method number 4 and method number 5. Yeah. But before I do so, just go to the Zoom chat and tell me which of the 3 ways do you find resonate with you the most. And there's no right or wrong answer. Right? Some of you really love property a lot. So even though with a lot of taxes, a lot of risk, you will still do so. Right? Some of you really love dividends because you know how to calculate. Yeah. By the way, please learn how to calculate if you like dividends. Okay. You cannot do dividends from a very hands-off approach. Okay. Please be more hands-on when it comes to dividends. You cannot treat dividends like endowment plans. You cannot just buy dividend and then close your eyes for 10 years. Anything can happen to the business for 10 years because it is a business after all. It is not a fund, right? It is not endowment plan. It is a company which can make money or lose money. Yeah. Okay. So far, I only see 2 answers. Dividends from Gabriel. Sean is the index fund. Yeah. So index fund, Yuan Tai didn't go too deeply into it, but there are many index funds in the world. And the globally diversified fund that he talked about, the portfolio, is also one kind of different index funds grouped together. Okay. So there are many choices. Okay, good. So Louis likes dividend, Tricia likes dividend. Just make sure you learn how to calculate. And on YouTube, there are lots and lots of videos to teach you how to calculate. Okay, I am very much into retirement planning because I lost my job in 2013. And then suddenly I realized that active income can just disappear like Thanos, right? Thanos can just snap the finger, half the world gone, and my HR and my supervisor can snap their finger and my job is gone. Yeah, and it took me very long to find a job. And finally, I decided not to look for a job. I decided to start my own business, which is why I'm here today, 7 years later. And I'm very grateful for this opportunity to share with you. Okay, so I'm not here to scare you, but your job may be gone also anytime, right? Especially now the entire markets are a bit jittery. Some people say it's coming back, but some people say the entire stock market may be crashing. And we only know e-commerce is doing very well. Pharma is doing very well. Every other industry you happen to work for, there's no guarantee, right? And some of you work in the government sector, like MOE teachers and all that. They will never fire you. But I happen to know a lot of civil servants who want to fire themselves. They're very tired of all the hierarchy, red tape, the toxic environment. Right, so my suggestion is learn to build method number 4 and 5 so that you can leave your job anytime you want to. Okay, so the second pillar is called income. Okay, so just now, Yuan Tai talked about 3 different forms of investment. Now I'm going to talk about 2 different forms of passive income. But the first question I have for you is, how much do you want in your passive income? Okay, please go to the Zoom chat and type, how much do you want in Singapore dollars terms per month for your passive income when you retire? Okay, go. Once again, no right or wrong answer, purely based on your lifestyle, your preference. Okay, Ik Chong is 2K, Yuan Tai is 10K. Some more. Eric is 10K. Wow, beautiful, Sean. And I'm very sure you're more than halfway there already. And we have SK, 2K, 5K, 2.5. Oliver, even longer. This is Sing dollars, I hope. 20K. Okay, very good. Once again, there's no right or wrong answer. It all depends on your lifestyle. And tonight is called Retire with Abundance. So if you are interested to just buy 2 plates of rice every day and don't go for holiday, don't give money to your children, don't give money to your grandchildren, don't give money to charity, then really you don't need any knowledge from tonight. You don't need, okay? Because our CPF can provide quite well if you just want to live life frugally. Okay, later I'm going to share a little bit about our Central Provident Fund, okay, from our government. I don't represent the government, but I'm very grateful to be in Singapore enjoying the CPF. Okay, so later, yeah. And right now, I want to share with you 2 methods how to turn your active income, which is your working income, entrepreneurship income, into passive income. Okay, so this is the magical vending machine that if you keep putting your active income every month into it, it's going to turn into passive income. The first one is called CPF Life, and the second one is called annuity. Okay, let me now elaborate on the CPF Life. Who here knows, based on current law, okay, don't talk about future, current law, how much will you get per month when you retire as your passive income? Based on current CPF Life, maximum. Okay, go to the Zoom chat and type Singapore dollars per month, how much you will get if you put in maximum, which happens to be $279,000 in 2021. And please don't Google, don't Google. Please type in the amount based on your knowledge. Okay, 4K according to Yin Lin. Gabriel says 3K. Any more? I'm going to review the answer in 3 seconds. 3, 2. Nobody wants to try anymore. Okay. So the answer is right at the bottom there. Okay. Of course, if you put in just a little bit of money, you end up getting only $350 per month. What kind of retirement is $350 per month? You probably will end up calling your friends to borrow money. Please don't do that, okay? Don't be a burden to other people. Be abundant. Be a blessing to other people. So if you want to make full use of CPF Life, I suggest that every year you do a voluntary top-up. Okay? If you're writing notes, please write down. Voluntary top-up used to be $7,000. Now it's $8,000 per year, not per month, right? Yeah, and if you do that, okay, if you choose to do that, the downside is, of course, you lock in your money, but the upside is that you enjoy tax preferences, okay, tax rebates. Yeah, so a lot of people feel uncomfortable locking up their money for so long. Okay, can you now tell me, okay, I'm going to sound a bit like I'm from PAP here. Can you tell me what will happen to your money in CPF if they don't lock it up? That means they allow you to take any amount, anytime, almost like robo-advisor. Okay, what will happen to your CPF funds if they don't lock it up all the way until 55 and then don't have a minimum amount for lifetime? Go to the Zoom chat and tell me what will happen to your retirement funds in CPF if it's fully liquid, like your DBS Bank, OCBC Bank. What will happen to your CPF funds? Gabriel says you might overspend and become a burden to society. Anyone else? Anyone else? What might happen? And please participate, or else it's very boring just listening to Yuan Tai, me, and May talk. Okay, who agrees with Gabriel? Can you please put yes if you agree with Gabriel Ling that if it is fully liquid, tomorrow you can go to CPF and take out 20K, 50K, that you might overspend before you retire. Who agrees with Gabriel? Put yes. Who doesn't agree? Put no. Okay, everybody needs to participate. Who agrees with Gabriel that you might overspend? Put yes. Those who don't agree say, I will be very disciplined. You know, I will never take out money. I will wait until I'm 55. Then you put no. Money finish first. Life not yet finished. Hey, Gabriel, I love your sense of humor. Do you know that CPF during my father's generation, they used to allow you to take out almost everything when you reach 55. And most people by 58, within 3 years, they spend finished 30 years of savings. I used to work for Singapore Stock Exchange. And I tell you, my first department was horrible. Every day I have to receive phone calls from people who lost money in the stock market. And we have done survey before. Most of these people, not all of course, are in their 55 to 58 years old, and they happen to be men. Okay, I'm not discriminating against men. I'm a man myself. Yeah, but it's very sad. Now, men at 55, when they take out money, one of the first few things they buy is stocks. Yeah, and nowadays, I'm sure they'll buy cryptocurrency as well, even if they don't understand about it. Yeah, because so please stop sabotaging yourself. Okay, so the government is protecting us by locking up our money. Okay, I'm going to share a little bit more about this thing called liquidity. A lot of my clients and friends, they love to tell me things like, please don't lock up my money. You know, I want to be able to take out anytime I want. Next month, next year, 2 years later. And my suggestion is this, okay? Please write this down. Learn to park money aside. Okay, write down the word park, P-A-R-K. Learn to park money aside. Okay, of course, some of your money should be liquid. Can anyone tell me, roughly, there's no right or wrong answer, how many % of your monthly cash flow, not income, so for example, if you earn $10,000 per month and you spend $6,000 per month, then your cash flow is $4,000. How many % of your cash flow should you put as liquid? And how many % should be put as illiquid to be locked up? Okay, so let's talk about liquid first. How many % of the $4,000 should be liquid? Okay, go to the Zoom chat and give me the percentage. Liquid, liquid. That means put into your bank account, put a bit in your fixed deposit, put in endowers, stash away, you know, put in Singlife, you know, all these very liquid tools. How many %? Have 6 to 12 months liquidity, that will be your emergency fund already. Okay, Sean would say about 85%. Okay, Eric would say 60%. Anything else? Gabriel, 60%. Okay, very good. Some more. Some of you probably haven't even thought of this topic before, right? Sophia says 50%. Okay. Once again, no right or wrong. It depends on your age, right? So if you are as young as Sophia, then you are still saving up a lot of money to buy your first apartment, to be married, to have renovation. Then of course you need a lot of funds liquid. Can you imagine if you lock it up in CPF, $8,000 per year, and then buy something called the SRS, okay, a supplementary retirement scheme, which is not part of CPF, but it's also by the government, and that's also locked up. So you lock it up in CPF Life, you lock it up in SRS, and then you have no money to buy your house, no money. You can't hear Eugene. Sorry, Yuan Tai, can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. Can. Hey, Gabriel, if you don't mind, just test your audio a little bit. Yeah, so the idea is this. Okay, you must have a percentage that is liquid and a percentage that is locked up. Okay, so please do yourself a favor from tonight onwards. Don't put all your 100% liquid and don't put all your 100% in CPF Life and endowment and things like that. Okay, learn to diversify. Okay, now let me talk about income stream number 5. Does anyone want to ask me a question? I can hear someone unmuting yourself. No, okay. Yeah, so by the way, please write down question. At the end of tonight, we're going to answer your questions. Okay, so please, if you don't understand anything that Yuan Tai said, or I said, or May say later, please write down the questions. We promise to answer you. Okay. So before I move on to income stream number 5, I just want to ask you, okay, on a scale of 1 to 5, how well are you using CPF already? Okay. On a scale of 1 to 5, no need to review how much money you have in your CPF. Okay, that was sensitive. Just tell me the scale. If you think you're optimizing CPF very well, put 5. If you think you never really thought much about CPF Life before, put 1. Right? If you have been putting partially into a CPF every year, then put maybe around 3 or 4. Okay, so please give a rating. How well are you using CPF Life already? Oh, Sean, so sorry about that. Don't worry. Okay, annuity then would be your private CPF. Okay, it is not by government, it is by insurance company, but it behaves very much like CPF. In fact, the returns from annuity is also very much like CPF. Okay, thank you for your honesty. So obviously, all of us here need to review our CPF plan. Okay, I don't want to give theories here, and I want to offer Yuan Tai, May, and my time. So later we will share our contact details. If you see value, then we can review your CPF for you, and with no obligation to get anything from us. Okay, so we'll just review and we stop there. If you want to do something through us, we will feel very honored. But if you don't, we are still good friends. Okay, so please stay on for our contact details later. But for now, people like Sean, people like a lot of others who either don't trust CPF or don't use CPF or not eligible for CPF, please have your private CPF. That's called annuity. Right now, I'm not selling any product. I'm sharing with you my annuity. Okay, this is Eugene Xia's annuity. 2 years ago, okay, 2 years ago, I started putting money 1,212. I know some of you find it very low. Like, you earn so much, you only put 1,200 plus. Because I am very well diversified. I got ETF, I got stocks that pay me dividend, you know, I got annuity, endowment, I got a unit trust, and I got a globally diversified portfolio. So I want to diversify as much as possible. And recently I got into robo-advisor as well. I chose SYFE, okay, SYFE, in case you're wondering. So please learn to diversify, right? No matter how much you love CPF, you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. And no matter how much you love annuity, likewise, don't put in a lot of money, okay? So I find very comfortable to put in about $1,200 per month. And then my $1,200 per month, I can choose to put in 5 years, 7 years, 8 years, but because I am only 45, right? Yeah, so I'm willing to put in longer because I believe I will actively work, especially since I love my job so much. I'm coaching, speaking, consulting, so I can work all the way until 60. And every month I can easily put aside 1,200. For most of you, this should be no problem because you have a stable job. You know, Yuan Tai and me and May, we run our own business. It's not even stable, and still we can put 1,200 or more. And then what will that lead to? So annuity gives you a guaranteed income, and the guarantee is that your 1,212 grows to 1,480. I know for some of us who love to buy stocks, you know, 1,480 doesn't look very exciting, but a lot of you wrote that you like dividend, then you can definitely consider this. Right? A lot of dividend yields, right? If you choose the normal average one, don't go and choose the outlier one, right? It's only about 3% anyway, right? I'm going to show you what returns I get from this, both the guaranteed as well as the non-guaranteed. Now, the moment I say non-guaranteed, some people start to like shudder, like, non-guaranteed. What if it's 0? Hey, hello, your dividend also non-guaranteed. Your property yield also non-guaranteed. So don't be a double standard person, okay? The same standard yardstick that you use for property rental, for ETFs, for all the non-guaranteed things, please also apply onto annuity. Annuity, there is a guaranteed component, which makes me very comfortable already, 1,480 per month. But I love the non-guaranteed part. Okay, let me describe the non-guaranteed part. The gray and yellow bar, okay, that one is non-guaranteed, 267 and 114. But the moment I receive, at the age of 65, I receive the 114 and 267, then they become guaranteed for the following year. Okay, so you see the following year, 114 and 267, those are guaranteed already. Okay, the following year means I'm 66 years old. Then you see the fats above, the yellow looks like fats, right? Yeah, 115, that one is non-guaranteed. Yuan Tai, sorry, you're wearing yellow, but not scolding you. Yeah, the 115 is non-guaranteed. But the moment they pay you 115 per month, not per year, then the 115 becomes guaranteed when I'm 67. So imagine you have a job. Every year, they give you variable bonus. Most of our jobs pay variable bonus, right? I mean, if you are in a job that doesn't have variable bonus, please change job. Okay, so the moment they give you variable bonus, let's say 3 months, then they tell you like, hey, Sean, your 3 months variable bonus will become a guaranteed income for the following year. Okay, who wants to work in this kind of company? Please put yes. The moment they tell you variable bonus is how much the following year your variable bonus becomes your guaranteed income on top of your guaranteed income. Yeah, tell me who likes this kind of company. Okay, assuming they're not going to harvest your kidney or kidnap you or anything. Okay, so all things being equal, just a normal IT company, a normal school, a normal software developer. Yeah, how come so few? I'm very surprised. I'm very, very shocked. Yeah, I would love this kind of company. Imagine variable bonus becomes guaranteed income the following year, which is why I decided to buy. Maybe I speak too fast. Are the rest of us even listening to me? Imagine your salary is $5,000 per month, and suddenly your company is making profit and they pay you $1,000 more. So it becomes $6,000. Then the following year, your minimum income, your guaranteed income becomes $6,000 per month instead of $5,000. And I'm very surprised only 4 of you want such a job. That means I've not been clear in my explanation. Okay, so this is called annuity. So if you do your mathematics, altogether $218,000 came from me. Right? I could have put $218,000 as down payment for a condo. By the way, right, let's use our brain a little bit. Okay, I know a lot of us love to buy condo and rent it out, but you keep forgetting the taxes. The taxes are crazy. Okay, it's crazy. Well, can you imagine if you really minus the taxes plus minus all the different months where not enough foreign talents come to Singapore, no one rents your unit, all these mini changes plus every other tenant, like 4 years later, change tenant, you have to do renovation again. You've forgotten all these costs, If you incorporate every single part of the cost, then you will find that your yield, right? Just now, Yuan Tai asked about your yield, is actually lower than that 2 to 3%. And yet you feel that it's very safe. Like, oh, I'd rather buy a condo unit than to buy annuity. I mean, by what yardstick are you making that comparison? So please be rational, okay? Don't be too emotional. Oh, I can see a beautiful garden, a beautiful swimming pool, and therefore I'm willing to pour in the money. Please be rational. We're talking about money here because you're not staying in the unit. This is an investment property. Why do you buy such a beautiful one? You're not even going to physically stay there. This is for you to rent it out. Okay, so please use logic starting from tonight. The passive income I will earn is 479,000 minus 218,000, which is around $260,000. Okay, I know some of you earn more from cryptocurrency than $260,000. Very good for you. Good for you. Okay, but if you continue holding on for the next 5 years, no guarantee. Okay, but for me, I have a guarantee. So I'm very, very happy with my passive income number 5. Okay, before I move on to number 6, okay, I'm going to ask you, who here actually are emotionally, okay, emotionally you like some guaranteed kind of income when you retire? Can you please put the letter G? G. G not for God, huh? G is for guarantee. G is for Gabriel. Okay, that you, of course, go ahead and buy your ETFs, go and buy your property, but you want some parts of your future retirement income to come from guaranteed income. Something that you don't need to check Bloomberg, Business Times, write down numbers. You don't want GG. Not everybody understand what's GG. Gabriel, you're always around teenagers, so you know what's GG. It's good game, good game. That means, in other words, die, okay? Okay, so I don't want to spend too long on this. Right now, I'm going to give you a chance. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you. So the returns, okay, I told you is somewhat similar to CPF special account. Okay, it is around 4 to 8%, right? Just this number is by MAS. This is not a number published by Prudential. This is by MAS, our government. So you can see that if you close your eyes and choose any insurance company that gives you annuity, they are all in the positive, right? There's no negative annuity one. They're all in the positive. And if you choose a somewhat lower return, like HSBC insurance is 4.42%. If you choose slightly higher, like AIA and Prudential, it's about 6.21 to 5.84. Okay, I'm talking about the left chart because that one is 10 years. 10 years is more accurate than just looking at 3 years. Okay, so I'm very, very happy with the returns from my annuity. And talking about liquidity, I told you, if you Google this phrase, okay, after tonight, if you don't believe me that you still believe liquidity is very important, I want all my money to be liquid, then please go and Google and read the financial blogs. Okay, anybody who is financially savvy will tell you that liquidity is a double-edged sword. So there is benefit of having liquidity, but there's also a disadvantage to having liquidity. I still remember about 5 years ago, NTUC Income, which we do not represent, but I love their advertisement. You know, I don't know who's their advertising agency. It is very, very good. So 5 years ago, they show an old lady taking an umbrella and going to Robinson, which has since closed down, to hit a young lady, like, a lot of violence. And then the young lady said, "Who are you? Who are you?" And then the old lady said, "Okay, can you fill in the blank for me? I am your what?" Go to the Zoom chat and tell me. The old lady is the young lady's, thank you, your future self. The old lady is so angry. This young lady basically squandered her high income every month away. And the young lady thought she was saving money in Endower, Stash Away, Syfe, but because it's so liquid, anytime she wants to buy a handbag, she goes into her Endowers fund, goes to her ETF, and just liquidate it, and it becomes cold hard cash again. Yeah, so for me, I'm not so confident about my self-discipline, honestly. Like a lot of times I say I want to lose weight, I end up eating French fries, durian, and I gain weight. Yeah, so when it comes to money, it's the same thing. Now I'm going to lock away in CPF and annuity so that even if I'm super ill-disciplined, next year at 65, I almost guarantee, that I have $5,000 per month from guaranteed income. Okay, other than annuity, CPF also give me 2.2K, don't forget. Okay, so 5K, not a problem for me. Then the other 5K will have to come from active investments. Okay, this is the summary. I just want to show you the total amount that I will get, which is around very close to $5,000. Okay, of course, if I want to top it up, I can buy another annuity any day. Okay, so without further ado, right now I am going to give you a chance to receive some numbers. Once again, no obligation that you need to buy anything from us at all. We are going to do this just for education. Okay, if you scan this QR code, and Yuan Tai, if you don't mind, put the link in the Zoom chat. All you need to do is reveal to us your age. Okay, shouldn't be too sensitive, right? Just put 45, 42, 38. You'll put your age and also put the amount of money you earlier said. Some of you said you wanted $5,000 per month, $8,000 per month, $2,000 per month. Just put that amount in the survey. Okay, based on your age and your amount, Yuan Tai, me, and May will calculate for you exactly how much you need to put aside during your working years. In the end, if you choose not to put aside that money, you know, nobody's fault. I mean, it will be your old self later hitting your new self. Okay, so please, at least you must know how much you should put aside. And while you're filling in this survey form, by the way, once you're done, put done, D-O-N-E. Yeah, so that we know when to change slide. Okay, once you're done, put down. And while you're doing that, let me describe something. There are two kinds of people in the world. I just told my son, he's 17 years old. There are two kinds of people. The first kind, they like to spend first. Okay, they earn $5,000 per month. They spend, and then finally leave around $800. Then that $800 become their saving. And in certain months, because of wedding, because of funeral, because of some 11/11 sale, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow, don't spend too much. Please. Okay. Yeah. Well, good thing that you all attend tonight. Okay, please. Okay, pinch yourself every time you want to spend. And if If you cannot, then I go to your house and I lock up your modem. Okay, so anyway, my point is some people like to spend first and save later. The second group of people will save first. That means they know they need to save at least $1,200 like me. Then they will put aside $1,200 first, and whatever remaining amount, then they spend. Okay, now can you tell me which category describes you? Are you category 1, spend first and save later? Or category 2, you save first, you carve out first, you ring fence the money first, and then you spend whatever is left? Okay, Sean, well done. Sophia, thank you for your honesty. Okay, okay, obviously the answer should be 2, okay? But some of us are honest enough to say 1. So after tonight, please change your habit, okay? Change your habit. Any success in life is always due to a change in habit, okay? Whether it's health or marital relationships or finance, okay? They are all the same thing. It sounds like different thing, but all the same. Learn to change your habit. Okay, right now I'm going to introduce May. Just now she led us in the game, but nobody introduced her, right? Okay, so May is one of the few single, not single, sole bread. She's not single, she's happily married. Yeah, she's a sole breadwinner for a family, which means her husband is a house husband. You know, most of my friends is housewife with a working father, but her family is the opposite. You know, so I really respect May for being the working woman of the household. She was featured on radio recently, in fact. Yeah, exactly for this purpose. She shared her story of how and why she became a sole breadwinner for her family. So without further ado, please put your hands together and welcome May Ng.
Thank you, Eugene. Okay, let me share my screen. Yeah, can you all see my screen? That was the recent interview that that happened. Now, we are going to touch on the third pillar, right? So let's look at the third pillar. So after investment, after income, what do you think is the third pillar? You want to type in the chat to see what it is? Give a wild guess. Nobody? Yeah, I'm going to share with you the last pillar, last passive income stream. Insurance, good guess. Okay, I've always been in insurance line, but no, this time around I'm not going to share on insurance. That'll be too easy. I am going to share on interest. All right. Now, as a sole breadwinner mom, it's very important for me to actually try to pinch and save lah. Okay, and then we know that we have to put in some money aside for day-to-day liquidity. All right, but if we can put it in a bank with a higher interest rate, why not, right? Of course, gone are the days whereby interest rates are 6-7% now. Okay, today's interest rate, what do you think? This question, what is the lowest interest rate for bank account that you have seen in Singapore? Is it A, 0 or B, 0.5? You want to make a guess? B, 0.5. Okay, anybody other than Gabriel? Thank you for participating. Eric, okay. Oh, Oliver, okay. All right, now, do you know what? Actually, it's A, 0%. Okay, this is not a trick question, okay? This A is for corporate accounts. Okay, so if you are a corporate company, you want to set up a legit bank account, then yeah, regretfully, you get 0%. Okay, but yes, for the rest of us, when we have our private saving accounts, then of course the lowest or the so-called the prevailing bank rate is 0.05%. Okay, the next question. Do y'all know what is the highest interest rate for saving bank account in Singapore? I'm not talking about those whereby you have to take a loan to get a higher interest rate, okay? Because we don't want to pay interest for interest, right? So which one, what do you think could be that magic number? 2%? Very close, very close. What else? Anybody else? You want to guess? Okay, let me disclose, all right? Yes, Gabriel, you're correct. It's 2%. Okay. This is based on POSB Save as You Earn account. And what all you need to do is that, you create a GIRO account for your salary. And then there is no minimum. So from $50 all the way to $3,000, the first from ground up, you will enjoy 2%. Of course, the balance you have to be subject to the prevailing bank rates. Okay. The next one is Bank of China Smart Saver. Okay, it's 1.4%. All right. But of course, the criteria is that you have to have a minimum salary of 6,000. And then you also must have a credit card spend of 2,000. And you must keep at all times this minimum balance of 1.5K. Okay. Is it a lot? Well, 2K, if you want to actually make use of this Bank of China Smart Saver, then you have to start changing all your GIRO, accounts and stuff like that to make sure, and then start using just one particular credit card in order to meet the criteria. Okay, let's look at the next one. The next one is the DPS multiplier, and then it's 0.8%. I know, right? Compared to the ones that Eugene and Yuan Tai has been sharing, all this is like peanuts, right? But still something better than the prevailing 0.05%. Here, there's no minimum salary, okay? And then credit card as well as selected insurance or investment, you must have a minimum spend of 5,000 for both categories. And at any one time, your minimum balance is 3K, okay? Well, I actually see Eric having a recommendation. Thank you. Okay, that is very helpful, okay? And then the next one is UOB One account. Okay, now it's 0.5%, but at least it is 10 times better than the prevailing bank rate. Here, there's no minimum salary. Okay, you can put in any amount. And then credit card is only minimum 500. And of course, the minimum balance is 1K. So sounds okay lah, easy to tick the box. And the last one, okay, Singlife is not a bank. But what happens is that for your first 10,000 that you're with them, you get 1%. And then your subsequent 90,000, you have a 0.5%. Of course, you have bonus returns, okay? All right, any more questions at this point in time? I see that Sean says, only good if you pay off your, yes, correct, because the credit card interest rates is very high, okay? So don't accumulate. Okay, since now we have an idea of what the saving interest rates are, let's look at the sixth and the final passive or low interest passive income instruments that we are recommending. And that is fixed deposit. Okay, so who has been putting in fixed D? Want to type into the chat, let me know. If it's a yes, you've been using fixed D, or no, you haven't, so you get a bit of sensing. Oh, Eugene didn't put into fixed D. Okay, I wonder why. Okay, Sean as well. All right. Okay, Gabriel, no. Some. Oh, Ik Chong says he used to. Okay, most of you don't. Okay, why? Okay, I'll show you what about it. Okay, so do you all know what is the highest fixed D interest in Singapore right now? Okay, I'm going to disclose to you. Okay, the first one is a CIMB. We're talking about a 0.8%. Okay, now fixed D, there are many types of interest, but how do we rank it for this presentation is we want to look for at the lowest threshold of entry. Okay, so for this case, the threshold is 10,000 minimum. Okay, and you can put it for quite a long time, not 12 months, but 24 months, you can enjoy 0.8%. Of course, it's troublesome, which means that after 24 months, you have to take it out and start another fixed D again. Okay. So can you imagine if you have this person A putting the money in a fixed D every 2 years, and then he has to roll over his fixed D, as compared to somebody who put his money in an annuity plan, like what Eugene introduced just now, where there is a return of 4 to 7%. then who do you think end of the day, person A or person B will actually reap more in terms of accumulation of wealth? All right, I think it's a no-brainer, right? But let's continue to look at the fixed D. So we have RHB. RHB gives slightly lower, okay, that's 0.68. And then you can put up to a minimum of 20,000 before you can enjoy it, and it's only for 12 months. And Sean said it correctly. We have to be mindful that as we are putting into all the fixed D, right, all these are lower than the current inflation. We're talking about 2.5. So actually your money is really eroding away, okay? But having said that, right, we still have to put aside some emergency cash. So we're just trying to find what is the best way to put it in the, to put our emergency cash away lah. And then of course we have DBS, which is 0.6%. It's minimum 1,000. It's very good for young, for new entrants, new people, you know, graduates that enter into the job market, and it's for 8 months. Well, at least if you don't put it into your pillow, right, you can at least get some money for Grab vouchers. Okay. All right. And that really comes to the end of that 3 pillars where you have investment, as Yuan Tai mentioned, where if you have extra cash, okay, please consider to diversify. And then as what Eugene said about the income, be it on CPF Life or annuity. And then last but not least, the interest. Okay. Who finds that so far, you know, what we have shared has been useful? Please put in the chat so that you can like encourage us. Okay. And then
Thank you, May. Yeah, it will help us to sleep soundly tonight. Yeah, some of us just now I saw about 10 or 9 names. So for the rest who have not filled in the survey form, this is your final chance. We have another 10 minutes to go. To respect our time, we are going to do a lucky draw first, and then we'll do Q&A. So only those who want to listen to the Q&A will stay back. But those who want to win the $10 Grab voucher, please stay for the next 2 minutes. Okay, so Yuan Tai, can you now do your Wheel of Fortune to see which 3 lucky winners we have tonight? And don't forget, the $10 Grab voucher is for buying coffee for Eugene Xia. It has no sound. Okay, let me make a sound. Wow. Almost Sophia. It's actually Louis Pua. Yuan Tai, do you know you are muted? Yeah. Last time I remember there was a sound, but now I don't hear any sound. Yeah. Okay, so first one is Louis Pua. Congratulations. I wish there's a beautiful girl come out to spin the wheel, but no, it's Mr. Liu Yuan Tai. Wow! That was almost Cindy. It's actually Eric. Congratulations. It's pure coincidence. 2 of them are my friends. Yeah, I have not touched the wheel at all. Okay, nothing to do with me. Song Che. Is Song Che still around? If not around, we have to give the voucher to someone else.
Song Che still around?
Let's check. Calling once.
Song Che, are you still around?
Yeah, I'm around.
Oh, good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. So with that out of the way, by the way, in order to claim the vouchers, right, all you need to do is clean our toilet. And after that, we'll okay, no. Okay, anyway, it's electronic. We'll just send the link over